everyone, it's Jenny from Homestead Corner. Today I have got 10 dirt cheap items that you can stock up on that will be extremely valuable when disaster strikes. Although it's real important for us to have plenty of items for ourselves and our family and maybe some extended friends and family on hand, I know a lot of people do stock for extended family, and we keep a few extra things definitely in case someone needed to come. We have the space for them. So it's important to have that on hand. But above and beyond that, there are a bunch of things that are really inexpensive that you can overstock on that aren't going to go bad. If a disaster happens, if the economy collapses or anything like that, these items are going to be extremely valuable. And a lot of them you can get for $1 or $2 right now. Okay, the first thing I think that is really important to keep extra of is socks. You can't have too many socks. You want to have, and when disaster strikes and you can't go out and buy socks, you either don't have the money or there's no place to get them from. You want to have plenty of socks on hand. So you got to keep your feet dry and comfortable. You don't want them rubbing inside your shoes. So having all those extra socks on hand can be really valuable for someone that doesn't have any and needs socks. So we keep extra socks of all kinds, kids socks, adult socks, anything like that, any kind of socks that you can get really inexpensively. You can get packages of socks at the Dollar Tree. A lot of closeout stores sell them really inexpensive. We find them, we have Martin's locally. It's like a liquidation surplus store. And you can get packs of 10 socks for like $2.99 a lot of times. And they don't have to be fancy, expensive socks, because any socks are better than no socks. Bandages and gauze are another one of those things that people are really going to want if a disaster strikes. If you've got plenty of stuff for yourself, they are so inexpensive. You can stockpile extras. It would make an excellent bartering item. So in a case of a collapse or a disaster or whatever, you've got that to get, you can trade for something else. You're going to want to keep plenty for yourself, but having some extra, they're so inexpensive to have on hand. And you can make your own bandages. There are lots of ways to do that. You could use maxi pads for bandages, get those out, and they will definitely absorb blood. But there are many people aren't going to think of that. They're not going to think that there are other ways to do it. They're going to think, oh my God, we need bandages, we need gauze. So they are not going to think about alternative ways. When you might, they probably won't. So it's great to have those on hand. It's an excellent bartering item, and it could be worth a fortune in case of an emergency. Sewing kits are another item that people are going to want. You're going to want to fix your clothes, fix rips, fix a backpack, fix all kinds of stuff. And those little sewing kits, you can get them at the Dollar Tree. They're not the greatest item, but again, it's better than nothing for someone that doesn't have anything. It can make a great item for someone, for a bartering item. They're only $1 at the Dollar Tree. You can get them pretty much all over the place for $1. Walmart, Dollar General, they have just those little kits. You could get little nicer ones, but if you're putting them away for a possible barter item, I wouldn't worry about getting anything too fancy. The next thing is stomach medications. When a disaster strikes, a lot of people will be in unclean conditions. They'll be drinking unclean water because they don't have access to clean water. That can make people sick. Diarrhea, vomiting, all kinds of issues. If you grab extra of those medications and have them on hand, you may have clean water, but someone else may not. You might know how to filter it. Someone else may not know how. Those medications, although they cost next to nothing, are a great item to have on hand just in case you need them. And if someone else needs them, it's a great barter item. The next one that is super dirt cheap is painkillers. Advil, Tylenol, aspirin, things like that. just to help take the edge off of pain and things, people, backaches, you know, shoulder ache, whatever, arthritis. It helps lots and lots of things. It really is handy to have plenty on hand. And you can get those small bottles really cheap of the off brands and just stockpile extra of those. Those could be worth a fortune to someone, especially someone with a toothache and there's no way to get to a doctor. Good Lord, we all know a toothache is no fun, and they would be willing to trade probably just about anything to get that pain reliever. The next item I think could be extremely valuable and really doesn't cost that much is cooking oil. A lot of people don't think to stock cooking oil. Many people don't prep at all. Cooking without cooking oil is not really that fun. It helps, you know, not keep your food from sticking. It helps, you know, moisten your food a little bit, adds flavor to your food. Having smaller bottles on hand to barter with is a great idea, and it could be worth a fortune to someone that just has nothing. The next thing is disinfectants and cleaning supplies. After a disaster, lots of people will be in situations that are unhygienic. And when we're in those situations, people start to get sick. People know that they're going to get sick from that. They need to be clean. So having those items and being able to share them, having them stocked up is great. I think bleach is a great item to have, but bleach only lasts about 6 months. So you really don't want to stockpile gallons and gallons and gallons of bleach. I think it's good to have what you're going to use in 6 months plus an extra or two, because you may use it more if there's a disaster or a collapse or something like that. So having that extra is great, but like your Lysols and your store brand disinfectants, things like that, those are great things to have. People are going to want those, and they're going to be willing to trade some pretty good stuff to get. The next item that's really great to have loads and loads and loads of is lighters and matches. If disaster strikes, you're going to need heat. You're going to need to cook. Other people, if they're not stocked up on this, they're going to need it as well. And it's going to be worth a really good amount to them to be able to get it. So bartering will be one of those things. That's one of those things that people will definitely want to trade to get those. And last, but certainly not least, books. You are going to want to have a nice, good library of skill books. I think books are one of the most important preps to have, because we can't remember everything. And if you haven't tried it and you don't know how to do it, you're going to be in big trouble. One thing, just filtering water. If you have a book that explains how to filter water, what kind of things in there, or how to build a fire, survival books are wonderful. Those type of things that you don't do every day, you haven't done it in a long time, you know, if they're there when the grid goes down, you're going to want those books. Can't get online, can't call somebody to get it, you know, tell you how to do it. There's nobody close by to help you. And there are a bunch of places you can get used books online. I'll put a couple of links down below of places where I get books. I don't get anything from this, but I think they're great places. And they are just, their books are dirt cheap. A lot of books I get are $3. And I can't remember the name of the company off the top of my head, but I will put a link down below. One of them is Thrift Books, and the other one I can't remember, but I use the other one the most. Of course, I can't remember. But those are 10 things that I think are dirt cheap, but will be extremely valuable in the time of a disaster. You're going to need this stuff. You'll have items to barter with if you have extra. They are all going to be worth their weight in gold. And that's it for today. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. Subscribe. We'll see you in the next video. Bye.